Hello? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Hi, welcome. We're so excited you're here. I'm Alex Matlack. I direct the Entrepreneurship Scholars Program. And all semester, we've had students working on venture ideas. And you're going to see 10 of them today. We have more e-scholars in the program this semester, but today you'll see 10 of the pitches. But before we get started, I have a very fun announcement, which is the Side Hustle Challenge, which you guys have heard about every first Wednesday. We are going to announce the winners. So I'll do that really quick first. The winners will receive different prize amounts, and I'll explain that. And also acceptance into the e-scholars program in the spring if they choose to. So our first winner, third place, second runner-up is Olivia Gray. So clap for Olivia. Okay. We don't have time to show everybody's videos today, but Olivia had this great presentation. In fact, most of the students in this room voted on these, so you've seen the videos. But Olivia, congratulations. You've won $500, and hopefully I'll see you next semester. Second place winner, so runner-up. Is this going? I'm afraid to over-click. Oh, there we go. Tate Berry, congratulations. For musician value elevation, so $750. And then finally, our first place winner, a former e-scholar, Ellie Doman. Congratulations. Ellie came to me at the beginning of the semester and told me she took a lease out on a space and needed to start getting the business going on it. And I thought, dang, that is a big risk, and that's an exciting one to help with, and that's the kind that really energizes me to want to get started. But she brought a different company through e-scholars, and then to see her now have a studio and to take a big risk on it is really exciting. So congratulations, Ellie. Ellie won $1,000. Okay, so just to kick things off, I have just a little remark. And instead of me talking about the program too much, I have a little poem, if that's okay. And it's actually a children's book. So if you have a child in your life and you're interested in entrepreneurship, you could put that under the Christmas tree this year. So this is What Do You Do with an Idea by Kobe Yamada. And it really reminds me of the Entrepreneurship Scholars. I was reading it to my son and I was like, oh my God, that's them. One day I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I wondered. What do you do with an idea? At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me, but it followed me. I worried, what would others think? What would other people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. It wanted food, it wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. It grew bigger and we became friends. I showed it to other people, even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly. And many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it would never become anything. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do, and it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. My idea grew and grew, and so did my love for it. I built it a new house, one with an open roof where it could look up at the stars, a place where it could be safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big and then to think bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands because it said, it is good to have the ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without it. Then, one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. It spread its wings, took flight, and burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was a part of everything. And then I realized what you do with an idea, you change the world. So that's what you guys have done. So anyway, I love getting to work with the e-scholars because I get them at a moment where they're thinking, I have this idea, I can't stop thinking about maybe I should just try and see what it is, much like the poem. And so that's what's always so inspiring to me. It's exciting to get to be with people when they are vulnerably putting themselves out there, and you really get that with entrepreneurship. So again, I'm excited to present 10 of our e-scholars today. Each presentation will be 5 minutes each, and you will vote at the end for your favorite pitch, and the favorite pitches will win money. So most of you should have a flyer. If not, your neighbor has a flyer, so you can have an idea of who they are. You can see their Instagrams, their websites, things like that, so you can follow up with the businesses. And at the very end, it will just take 2 minutes to vote. It'll be really, really quick. And then I'll announce those at the end. And a couple thank yous. First to our mentors, many of whom are in the room. The mentors did so much this semester. They did Mentor Madness, one-on-one mentoring, guest spoke in our sessions, helped with today's pitches, helped with recruitment and selection and finding new mentors, and are guiding us on how to improve the program. So there's so many mentors in the room. We're so grateful for you. So thank you to the mentors. Okay, a couple more thank yous. First to the Kauffman Foundation, they fund this program, which is awesome. And then to our team here, Ellie Hale is a student here, an undergraduate, and Ellie basically planned the whole day-to-day run of show. She has class today, so they're not with us right now. But Ellie really made sure all of you guys, and she's a peer of yours, made sure that you guys were supported. So Ellie, we're grateful for Ellie, and for Laura Moore, who runs a lot of what's going on in the Rainier Institute, including this. Philip Goncher, who runs our mentor program, which is so important to this program. Brian Boots, who oversees our venture creation, and the rest of the Rainier Institute. So thanks to all that group. Okay, so I'm proud of all of you. I'm so glad to welcome you into now an alumni network. And with that, we get to kick off our first presentation. The presenter, the founder, Yari, with the business Yari. So welcome, Yari.
Hold on. Is this on? Okay. Thank you. Which button? Okay. Designer here in the eScholars program. My journey started in 2018 as a model. I quickly realized, though, that modeling was not for me because I don't like being on the spotlight. So one day I was called to work with the designer, and I loved with hair and makeup. She made the clothes for the shoes, and it was just fascinating. And she got to be involved in this whole creative process, but she didn't have to be in front of the camera. So I said, you know what? I want her job. So the picture you see here is the picture from that day in that photo shoot. It's my last day working as a model and where my journey as a fashion designer began. So what is Yari? Well, Yari is a fashion brand that specializes in constructing unique pieces. We focused on the quality that we redefine and really let everyone know what something truly means to be luxury. We're all familiar with luxury and also fast fashion brands like Fashion Nova or Shein. Well, what these brands have in common are unsustainable practices. Luxury brands rather buy their products than offer discounts or just reuse and recycle those fabrics. And their only problem with reusing and recycling is that it costs more than burning, and they don't offer discounts just to keep their brand value high. Fast fashion brands, they have similar practices, and though their wasteful practices start as early as production, when it comes to getting rid of excess supply, they also burn, throw away their garments. So there's already ends up in landfills, and that's just in the US alone. It doesn't have to be this way. If we just focus on slowing down, focus on quality and durability of garments, and really find value in reusing our clothes, then we could save a lot of that waste. So luxury is not about price, it's not about elite, and it's not about some privilege bestowed upon you by your ancestors, but it's about the codes, qualities, and values of the brand and the people purchasing from that brand. So luxury is gonna look a little bit different for each of you in this room, but that also means that everybody has access to luxury. More seats at the table just makes for a bigger party, right? So I do wanna highlight a couple things. Sustainability. I know that when I say sustainable, we probably think of earth tones and burlaps, but sustainability can be glamorous. We don't have to worry about those monotones or those tans and browns because we can still have our glitz and glamour while saving also both quality and high quality and durability. When we think of vintage clothing, these clothes were made decades ago. They were built in 2022, still cycling through the market. I'm not gonna pass down my Shein shirt to my child or my grandchild, but I am gonna pass down a good high quality luxury garment because I didn't intend on just throwing it away when I purchased it. And so with that, we're focused on a value pricing. This is just a few of the categories that will be offered through the website, but corsets starting at $300, jackets starting at $450, and pants and bottoms starting at $350. So why? I'm fairly new to the market as a fashion designer. In fact, I've only just introduced myself to the market back in July. So I'm not even 6 months old yet. But since then, I've had 50 inquiries, custom inquiries for garments. 48 of those inquiries are willing and ready to follow through. And 42 of those inquiries are in Kansas City. So I've already broken state lines. Thank you. I've already broken the state line, and I haven't had any marketing campaigns. This is mainly through word of mouth. So with this brand, with a solid plan, with marketing campaigns, social media, planned reels, I know that within the first month of launch, lined up and ready to order. So now it's your turn. I can't become the next big fashion brand without your help. So follow me on Instagram, interact with me. Your likes, shares, and comments, even if you're not coming to buy, is luxury to me. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Elena Smith. I'm a 2022 e-scholar and a product designer. I help small sustainable businesses design and circulate reusable packages. I'd like you to think about every time you ever recycled a plastic milk jug, or a detergent bottle, or an iced coffee cup, or any of the containers that you see on screen there. It felt pretty good, right? When we recycle something, we expect it to be put into the recycling system and returned to us as new objects. We do it because we want to be part of the solution, and we feel good about being part of that solution. But the reality is that only 9% of plastics in the US actually ever get recycled. Think about everything that happens in your consumer products that are packaged in plastic. Where does that leave us? That leaves us with over 13 million tons of wasted plastic from packaging and containers every single year in the United States alone. And it's not just affecting us, our desire to be sustainable, and the environment, it's affecting businesses as well. As businesses are spending over $150 billion every year in these containers that are ultimately just getting thrown away. Recycling isn't the solution. It's an imperfect system that can't handle the infinite number of combinations of materials. If we as consumers and as entrepreneurs want to be truly sustainable, We need to look for other avenues in our packaging. I'd like to introduce to you today MyJar. We're a full-scale packaging product design firm, and we help small businesses design, manufacture, and circulate reusable packages and containers for their products. What we do is broken down into 3 groups. We first help businesses design their packages so that they are built to be reusable and long-lasting for circulation. We then help these businesses integrate those packages into their businesses through manufacture and circulation. We collect, clean, and return the packages back to their home businesses. We remove the burden of sustainability by reconnecting that disconnect between the consumer using the package afterwards and back to their original business. We do this by being at the start and end of the solution system. We help the businesses manufacture their packages, and we collect, clean, and return it back to them at the end. When we usually purchase products, we do it in this way, a very linear way. We purchase a product, a consumer uses that, throws away the packaging. Instead, MyJar offers the consumer the ability to return it to us. We collect those packages and then return it to their home business. And we do our collection by partnering with e-commerce shipping channels, convenience and grocery stores, regional distributors, and our own collection centers. We offer value to businesses by allowing them to focus on the sustainability of their own goods, allowing us to think about the packaging. And these businesses aren't just rewarded by being ethical or green, as we see that sustainability marked products grow 5.6 times faster than their conventional counterparts. And we also see the success of circular packaging already in Kansas City through businesses like the Kansas City Chateau Milk Company. Imagine the opportunities that we can create by extending circular packaging services to all adjacent consumer packaged goods. Stuff like small production, craft brews, juices, honey, skincare and lotions, you name it. Our business model is broken down by our offerings, in which businesses invest in their product packaging as a one-time investment with the design and manufacture of these units, and then we circulate them on a recurring basis for revenue. And finally, a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Elena. I'm a product designer studying over at the Kansas City Art Institute and a 2022 e-scholar. But I must admit, I'm a little bit lonely up here all by myself, and it takes a village to make this idea work. So if you know a small business or are a small business owner, if you know of sustainable practices, or if you're interested in what you heard today and are willing to share your knowledge with me, mentor me, we can all help each other and learn to help make this idea work.
Hi, everyone. My name is Layla, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my platform, Volunwork. A little bit about how we started. This idea came to me back when I was a freshman in high school. We had to do a presentation at the end of the semester about all our service hours, and I had done mine over the summer, and I had enjoyed it. But the problem was all my peers were struggling, trying to get all their hours done the week before the presentation. And I didn't understand why they were struggling so much. And it made me think about what I could do to make their experiences more like mine. So this is how Volunwork was created. The problems that most students were seeing were they were having problems finding volunteer opportunities they were interested or that they cared about, problems connecting with the organizations that matched their interests, and then tracking and logging their hours. Schools and organizations still use half sheets or paper forms, and that becomes very problematic when a student is having to chase after their supervisor to get it signed, only to lose the sheet, and then you've lost the hours and you have no way to get those back. So this is where Volunwork comes in. Volunwork is a comprehensive, personalized platform meant to streamline students' volunteering experiences from beginning to end, solving all those problems that students see throughout the volunteering experience. Our platform would provide embedded signups so you don't have to find an additional link to sign up for those volunteering hours. We would have filters so you can only see those experiences that you're interested in, whether that's working with the KC Pet Project because you like pets or opportunities like that. So you're not looking at every available opportunity, you're looking at the ones that you're interested in. We would actually provide all the essential information, easy to see as you go to sign up, so that something as simple as if you're going to go work at a food kitchen and you might be serving food, to be prepared to wear a hairnet, have a hat, or closed-toed shoes, stuff that really makes those experiences easy from the sign up to going to volunteer, because that little information can make or break just how simple a volunteering experience can be. And then again, tracking those hours is the biggest problem that we see. And so by streamlining that and making it all online, building it into the platform so that a student isn't having to chase after a supervisor with a paper form and they can do that online, makes it really easy to, at the end of the summer, print a form and say, here are the 10 hours I did, this is where I did it, here's my supervisor and their signature. For our market, our target market is high school and college students, so about 14 or 15 to 24. So in Kansas City, there are about 50, almost 60,000 students within that age range. Naturally, not everyone is going to volunteer, but it just means that there is a large untapped workforce that can work with these organizations that really rely on volunteers. And so this can be very beneficial to the community as a whole. Our business model would operate on a two-sided marketplace, working with those organizations and with the schools, because we would want this to be free for the students to access. We would be a subscription service on both of those sides at different prices, just to keep it affordable for everyone. And our platform would be a well-functioning app farther down the line, but we're working on getting our website operational just to get students trafficked on it and just start fixing their volunteer experiences. We would make our revenue through a couple different subscription platforms. Our main targets are those nonprofit organizations and those schools that students would reach us through. So for nonprofits, they would pay $100 a month to keep their opportunities up to date and for us to make those connections with the students that are specifically interested in their organizations. And then schools, we would charge $1 a month per student, because we want to keep it affordable depending on the size of the school, because you have schools that are ranging from all these different amounts of students that need volunteer hours. And then sometimes there will be a family or maybe a parent that wants to volunteer on their own time. And so they would have a separate subscription service for themselves. But what makes us different? There are a couple platforms out there that work with volunteers, but some only filter, or some just give you the option of these are all the opportunities, but some have you just go in and track the hours on your own. But we would do that all from beginning to end, personalizing, offering filters, having those essential reminders with that information that you need, and then logging the hours at the end all in one place and really easy to access. So in summary, our product is a personalized comprehensive volunteer platform as a website or an app on students' phone. Our pricing would be ranged on the subscriptions depending on the size of the organization or the school. And then our target market is student volunteers ages 14 to 24. So thank you. And if you want to be a mentor to us, if you have a connection to schools or organizations, please reach out and check out our website. It's done. Look right. This one, yeah.
I first want to tell the story about Michaela and Danny. Danny was 15 months old when one November night, about an hour after Michaela put him to bed, she heard the most terrifying sound that she could imagine. And she raced into his room and turned on the light and saw him just lying there in this crib, eyes wide open, gasping for air. What should she do? Did she call the pediatrician? Did she go to the ER? In these moments, it is really difficult to figure out what you should do, and medical advice is usually not available. A study in 2017 showed that we spend $89 billion on lost wages and travel costs related to accessing healthcare, not related to the actual healthcare costs. COVID-19 pandemic brought about a sweeping of telemedicine services available to everybody. And as you can see, telemedicine visits are cheaper than an in-person visit to the doctor or an urgent care visit. And 79% of people that had had a telemedicine visit rated their visit very satisfied and were willing to have another visit again in the future. Kansas City has 540,000 children under the age of 18. And they all need to get care. So where do they get care? I want to welcome you to Concierge Care Pediatrics. Our mission is to leverage the power of digital health to be able to meet kids where they are, providing the care they need, and helping parents get peace of mind as well. We offer our services include home and travel telemedicine, which can be scheduled online, and we can resolve 60% of visits so parents don't have to go to in-person for an ear infection or for an asthma exacerbation. School-based telemedicine means kids don't have to miss school and parents don't have to miss work getting to a doctor's appointment or traveling and waiting. And video medical education. This is a more robust way for parents to be educated about their diagnosis and treatment plan, enhancing their understanding, their anticipatory guidance, and understanding the expectations. There's no local clinic or urgent care that provides school-based telemedicine and home and travel telemedicine services. So whether you're in Missouri or traveling to another state on vacation, we're available. So our business model includes home and travel telemedicine. So for $39 a month, you can access our services. School-based telemedicine, meaning contracted schools can access the pediatrician same day for sick or injured visits, and the school nurse facilitates that visit, so everybody is in the loop with the care. And our health education videos will be made available to medical providers who want to access a subscription-based service so that we will whiteboard their brand so that they can see what we're doing. We started Concierge Care Pediatrics earlier this year as a licensed LLC in the state of Missouri, and we can now have our business practice in 11 states. Currently, we are undergoing credentialing so that we can bill insurance companies and Medicaid. And I am pleased to announce that we now have a verbal agreement with a Northland school to beta test our school-based telemedicine program. As I mentioned, we currently offer home and travel telemedicine services, and we expect our first school-based contract to be available the fall of 2023. The first installment of our medical video library will be available the spring of 2024, and we look forward to quadrupling our school-based contracts by that fall. By the way, Danny did just fine. Mom did call me that night, and I was able to tell her to bundle him up and take him out for a walk in the cold night air to treat his croup symptoms. I was able to write a prescription and send it to the pharmacy where she picked up, and so the next night they both had a better night's sleep. So if you want to help children and alter their health care and provide better access to care, and you want to give parents a better night's sleep, please spread the word about Concierge Care Pediatrics. I'm Dr. Chelsea Johnson. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I've worked urgent cares, emergency departments, and primary care clinics across the country. For the past 5 years, I have been starting and running telemedicine companies for startups and for academic hospitals, including Children's Mercy. I think it's time for Kansas City parents to have access to pediatric concierge telemedicine. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Miskana Zagaye.
And I'm Dr. Nathan Gauss. We're honored to be present before you today to talk about our company, which we're very excited about, Lusocura. That's Italian for luxury care. It's an exciting and disruptive venture in Botox and filler, providing concierge aesthetic services.
Meet the dedicated founders of our company that are uniquely positioned in the intersection between business and healthcare. Leah Gauze, our CEO, board certified physician assistant, and Dr. Nathan Gauze, chief medical officer and board certified surgeon. Myself, I'm the chief operating officer with a background in biological sciences and business. Did you know that in 2021, the global beauty industry was worth over $532 billion? That's billion with a B. Skincare alone made up $120 billion of this booming market. And last year in North America, the Botox market accounted for $5.8 billion. At Lusocura, we recognize the opportunity for local industry disruption by creating a first of its kind Botox and filler service in the Kansas City area. After a thorough industry analysis, we set out to answer the following questions. Why should you wait 4 months for a Botox appointment and travel to an inconvenient site to then receive Botox from someone you don't necessarily know or trust? At Lusocura, we've identified the common scenarios as a significant industry opportunity and have simplified the process for you to invest in your confidence and enhance in your beauty. Lusocura has created the solution to the burdens and barriers associated with making an investment in your confidence through Botox treatments. How do we help you, you ask? Well, that's a great question.
Fantastic question. Fantastic.
We do it in 2 easy steps. First step, Lusocura leverages an online virtual consultation, which allows you to schedule your appointment at a convenient location of your choosing. Yes, of your choosing. Step 2 involves a 15-minute Botox appointment that includes digital payment options, a simple streamlined approach.
When stood up next to our competitors, Lusocura meets the needs of our clients by leveraging a nimble, client-centered approach to aesthetic care. Our unique concierge process creates flexibility for our clients. And we just happen to be also clinician owned. So that allows us to put the client at the beginning. I was about to say patient, I'm just saying patient, put the client in the middle of things such that we can give them expert opinions and expert care. Fortunately, Botox is essentially a household brand, similar to how Kleenex is to tissue paper. Lusocura leverages this model by using brand awareness. Word of mouth and social media have been our primary medium to date for communicating with our clients. We identify our core clientele to be women, the age between 25 to 60. After a Botox appointment, we're fortunate because each client is in a walking billboard for us, which we think is pretty fantastic. Lusocura also creates a client-focused venue for them, such as in-home services and as well as pop-ups at businesses and boutiques and country clubs, as well as private parties. Those are actually pretty fun. The business model also eliminates the need for clients to go to an unnecessary place or appointment. To further bolster our uniqueness in this industry, we are currently creating subscription-based packages in order to provide a better experience and simplify the experience for our clients. Quick financial projections for us. We leverage new and recurring clientele, and we use that to help bolster our business. We anticipate seeing clients, and we currently see clients 3 to 4 times a year with an average revenue of about $360 each visit. For us at Lusocura, we anticipate over the next 3 or so years, we'll get up to about 500 clients. That's about 6 appointments, 15-minute appointments per day. And that'll give us annual revenue somewhere upwards of $500,000. So we're excited about that. We have much to celebrate at Lusocura already. Part of the eScholars program, so clearly that's a win for us. That's helped us to really look at the pitfalls of a startup company, right? I got into this, slid into this, thought it was easy. It's easy. It's not easy. There's a lot of things that can trip you up and cause your business to fail. We've learned how to not fall over those hurdles. We also have leveraged the mentorship that's come available to us. We're able to rub shoulders with some pretty successful people out there, not only in the Kansas City area, but beyond. So we're very grateful for that. We also, through word of mouth and social media, have been able to get clients in both Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa. Now, the Iowa connection comes from, that's where we used to practice, my wife and I. So they obviously want us to come back and take care of them because, I mean, it's Lusakura. Why wouldn't you? We have a simple ask. Take the time to engage in luxury care. Ask your friends, consider yourself and your loved ones to reach out to us to provide this luxury care experience. It's literally luxury care. Ms. Ghana and I, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this is me, Aziza Aslanova. I am 6 years old here. And as a little girl in Uzbekistan, I was thrilled and enchanted by all of those stories about the Great Silk Road. And when I learned that Cleopatra herself used silk in her own beauty routine, I had to read more. The more I read, I found out the silk industry has a long-kept little secret. They were not delivering their promises. They were saying that they're selling 100% pure mulberry silk products. However, they were only 51%. I had no choice but to open a company, Affinity Silk, where we provide high quality, pure silk products ranging from sleepwear to silk pillowcases to loungewear. We do it all. You might ask why? Why silk? And why is it so important to sleep on the right pillowcase? Well, I'm going to tell you that. According to the American Chemical Society, humans shed 500 million skin cells every day. And we spend 8 hours on our pillowcase. Plenty of those skin cells flakes end up being on our bed and then your skin. That causes problems with your skin and hair. Most pillowcases promote acne by accumulating germs and transfer to your skin. That causes aging and dryness. And the same thing happens to your hair. Split ends and breakage. So ladies, we spend 30 minutes working on our skin before going to bed, and then we just undo all of it just by going to bed and sleeping on their own pillowcase. Now that we know, so here's our solution. We found it. We provide premium mulberry silk products for every moment of your day. From work to play, we do it all. Mulberry silk is both hypoallergenic, antibacterial, and may even improve skin conditions like eczema. Adding skin to your routine will improve your self-image and the quality of your life. Now that we know that the silk industry is at risk, it's not surprising that the whole industry is estimated to $16 billion. And it's expected to grow to strong 8.2%, which is $34 billion by 2031. Affinity captures a portion of the organic growth by building a brand that targets both consumers and businesses. And here's our plan. Well, in 2022, we got accepted to eScholars Accelerator program. Just a couple of weeks ago, we received our first 100 pillowcases, and we're just, thank you. And we are a couple weeks away from launching our first collection. By 2024, we plan to acquire our first warehouse and hire first full-time seamstress. By 2026, we plan to sell internationally, and by 2031, our goal is to get 10% of the market share. Our business model stands on 2 pillars. First one is B2C. Affinity focuses primarily on a direct-to-consumer, leveraging our competitive advantage of 100% pure mulberry silk. And B2B, we intend to co-brand our products, partnering with estheticians all across the United States. So how are we different? And yeah, why us? Well, we keep our promises. We provide 100% pure mulberry silk with no synthetic fiber. As you can see on this burn test, we burn like a true organic fabric. Unlike our competitors that are even they're organic like cotton, they burn like plastic. Also, after doing some research and actually sleeping on a couple of pillowcases that are silk, I realized it is so important to design a slide-resistant pillowcase to make sure that the pillowcase does not slip away when you sleep. Also, our ultra-premium packaging and customer experience make all of your life events more festive and important. Our last but not least differentiation is that our unique business model to this industry. Please meet our team. Me, myself, Aziza Aslanova, my husband, Artem Thuma, who is responsible for finances, and my little sister, who is operating from Uzbekistan and working with all those factories and manufacturers. But before you leave, I want you to think about one thing. Do you know somebody in your life who wants to have a better skin? Yes? Please follow us on our socials and order your first pillowcase. Thank you.
Hello. Yep. So today I'm going to talk about Pineroma. I'm going to begin with a story. We were on a road trip to the black sand beach in Minneapolis, and it was pouring rain, dark, and suddenly while driving, I heard some crying sounds coming from behind me. I turned back, and when I looked, I see my daughters, my girls crying, weeping, tears rolling down their cheeks. And I'm like, girls, what's the problem? And they're like, Daddy, we want to have rice and lentils for dinner tonight. I said, girls, don't worry. I'm going to solve that problem for you. I go to Google and I search for rice and lentils in the area of my destination, but I don't find any. So with a very heavy heart, I turn back and tell them, girls, we are going to survive the night on Chipotle. I didn't find rice and lentils that night, but I did realize I need to solve this problem, which is why we created Pineroma. Pineroma is the first of its kind two-sided marketplace where chefs, bakers, cooks, enthusiasts can cook delicacies and list them on the platform for customers and food lovers to purchase from. Now, this is not a new business model. This is an already existing business model in the shadows of Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, and Craigslist. However, Pineroma is the first of its kind marketplace that is branded and developed for food. It instills trust because we have a two-sided review system where the chefs and the cooks can review customers, and the customers can review the cooks so that they know what they're purchasing. Now, why the home cooks? Home cooking is where the culture is being cooked. A grandma's recipe that's passed on from generations is being cooked at homes. We get to taste authentic cuisines when we are guests at somebody's homes as compared to restaurants. And the art of cooking is truly explored when a person is cooking with interest at home. And now, why Pineroma? Pineroma is the platform that will give these enthusiasts a platform to test recipes, to sell the best of the best dishes that they're good at. And since Pineroma takes care of all the chores like billing, invoicing, transaction processing, so it takes care of all the chores, which is why the passion stays passion, and the cook can focus on his passion. Now, will this make money? So we looked at the comparable industry, and in the entire United States, there's about $320 billion spent in comparable restaurants and in the food areas. But I do understand that this is a unicorn estimate, which is why, realistically speaking, realistically speaking, if even 5% of the Kansas City MSA households ordered a $50 order only once per quarter, that still adds up to an annual spend of $2.06 million through the platform alone. And this is only through Kansas City MSA. Now, how do we make money? We have a very straightforward business model. We only charge 10% of the total transaction cost. So here's a typical breakdown. Let's say a customer orders 2 servings at $50 each. The total order cost is $100. We charge a service fee of $10, and the customer ends up paying $110. Now, out of these $110, $96 goes to the home cook, $9.60 is the revenue for Pina Roma, and $4.40 is the credit card processing fee. With that being said, our go-to-market strategy is to recruit as many cooks, bakers, chefs, home cooks from Facebook, Instagram, Craigslist, get them to list on the platform. Once we have enough of them reviewed, we'll drive demand to the platforms through social media influencer marketing, and eventually create that network effect where each side pulls the other side. Now, if you know somebody who's a home cook, or if you're a home cook, we want you to showcase your talent and your delicacy and recipe on our platform. So please pass our word around so that we can list them on our platform. And with that being said, I'm sure that you guys all are hungry right now and famished. So here's our contact information, and thank you for listening to us tonight. Thank you.
How you guys doing tonight? So my name is Ivan Hernandez. I am the creator of the My Business Idea podcast. In this podcast, I interview entrepreneurs about what it's like to go from idea to business successfully. A little backstory about me. So I'm 28 years old. By the time I was 26, I was actually involved in a car accident where I lost my right leg. And then after that, I went into a 1.5 years of dialysis, and here I am in 2022, kidney transplant later, finishing school and starting a business. Thank you. So what most people don't think about is starting a business is actually starting a community. You need a community of customers, a community of business like-minded people. You need a community of mentors that are going to help you out throughout the way, and a community of other supporters you might have in your life to keep you going forward. So an average of 4 million businesses are started per year. Out of those 4 million businesses, most of them fail because of lack of planning. Either you don't have a good business plan, you don't know what the future for your business is actually going to be. You could run into financial hurdles. So you don't know how to get capital, you don't know how to pitch to investors, you don't know where your next dollar is going to come from. Also, you might have poor marketing, which is a really big one in the community, in the business community space. People don't know how to actually get their customers. They don't know who their customers actually are. They go, oh, it's a $4 million business. And they try to get all $4 million, which is unrealistic. So we are here to solve that issue with our podcast. So 60% of college students and high school business students in 2022 stated that they don't plan on working for anybody. They want to start their own businesses and they want to work for themselves. With this podcast, because we interview entrepreneurs about how to get from idea to business, you're going to get real stories from real entrepreneurs. You're going to get the process that they specifically took. So if we do an episode on real estate and you want to get into real estate, you'll hear exactly what it was like for one person that's already doing it. You're going to get business consulting from us as well as our partners and pop-up networking events so that you can actually network and find mentors within your community. I'm the founder and CEO. My name is Ivan Hernandez. I am looking for a co-host as well as another person that can help. So if you want to do that, reach out to me. So why me? First, I'm an avid podcast listener. So I know what a good podcast sounds like. I know the good structure of a good podcast. And I know that if that podcast is not helping me develop this business, it's not going to help you develop your business. I am an aspiring entrepreneur, so I'm going to be in the same boat as my listeners. I'm an eScholars student here at UMKC, and I have a background in certification in audio engineering. So if you have subs in your car, you're not going to get that nasty rattle from a podcast versus if you're listening to Lil Wayne. My business model is pretty simple. We're going to release consistent content either weekly or bi-weekly. We're going to create a network of entrepreneurs as well as aspiring business owners. And then our listeners are going to get access to exclusive content as well as access to our network so they can start finding their own mentors and start asking questions and kind of skip the long Googling and market research thing that they might have to do with other by themselves. So our revenue streams, while we have a lot, most of our revenue is going to come from merchandise, sponsors, consulting, affiliate marketing, and networking events. Our projection is that in about 3 years, we plan on getting at least 10,000 listeners. We plan to have 3 networking events per year, whether it's virtual or on campus. And by on campus, we are trying to partner with at least 5 universities so that we can have a safe space where mentors and entrepreneurs can meet. That way you can start finding your next person that's going to guide you through your business. Again, my name is Ivan Hernandez. We are going to be on Spotify and Apple Music with our first episode here within the next 24 to 48 hours. You can reach me at ivan.mbipodcast@gmail.com if you want to discuss a business idea or if you want to get an interview. And then finally, how many of you guys have ever had a plan for the future, whether it was entrepreneurial or not? Now, I want you guys to raise your hand. That should be every single one of you. So there's a famous quote that I really like, and it goes that success cannot, or opportunity cannot knock if you haven't built the door. Now, with my podcast, when you listen to it, you're going to hear how entrepreneurs built their door. And then in turn, by listening to it, you're going to be able to use that to build your own door. Thank you.
My family owns a trucking company, and as many of you know, there are a lot of things that you just can't control within that industry. You can't control traffic, you can't control the parties being involved, but what you can control is the time that it takes to load and unload a semi-truck trailer. It takes on average 3 hours to load and unload a semi-truck trailer, which is 2.3 million lost in productivity annually per manufacturer. And in USA alone, there are over 600,000 manufacturers here. And so why wouldn't manufacturers simply invest in technology in order to increase their productivity and efficiency? And the solution is these smart pallets. So these smart pallets, they can load and unload a semi-truck trailer in less than 20 minutes. And they have embedded technology that have different features enable it to move into and throughout the warehouse and into the semi-truck trailer very safely. And they have material that is very durable and it can hold up to 3 years. So there are over 2 billion pallets in USA alone, and 50 million of them are smart tech pallets. So they have some sort of feature inside of them that enables them to do really cool things. And we will be targeting 5 million. So that's a target of 10% in 5 years. And so we will be targeting closed loop supply chains. So that's where one truck will haul a load there, but then they'll go back empty. So it's like automotive industries, the aerospace industries. And we will be going to trade shows around the USA, a lot of manufacturing shows to get our audience. And we will also finance this through sales and subscription models. And so what makes us different is that this pallet has tracks on the side, underneath it actually, and so enable it to move into and throughout the warehouse. And since anybody can connect to it, there's a QR code on the pallet, so you can just click on it and then you can move the pallet on the app. So it's like pretty cool. And it has electromagnetic locks on the side, enable it to lock to other pallets and move like 8 pallets together as a unit. So since we will be targeting 5 million, we expect 20% of that will actually lease them. They will actually, want them for lease, and we charge $12 per month. And we expect that 80% of them will actually want to buy them for $500. And this is my incredible team made out of 3 mentors and me. I'm majoring in finance, and I have a little background in chemistry and physics. And since I do have a background in logistics, my family is going to help me use their warehouse to prototype and test my beta. So it's pretty cool. And don't forget to connect with us on LinkedIn to see our progress. Thank you.
Right, it's me. All right. Good evening, everyone. That's the part when you guys respond. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you. All right. So, this in class, you usually got to give your phone up, right? Or no? All right. So, despite our brain's intellectual and technical capabilities, were you guys aware that our brain is a social organ? So what that means is that it functions at its best when it has the opportunity to connect and interact with others. I know that because as a social worker, I study human behavior, environments, trauma, and how adverse childhood experiences impacts our brain structure. Good evening again. I'm Alicia Smith, and I am a licensed master social worker in Kansas and Missouri, a qualified mental health professional here at Rediscover Mental Health. I am a clinician with the Kansas City Public School District, as well as the founder and creator of Advantageous Afford. So 90% of students within the Kansas City Public School District qualify for free or reduced lunch. And that's just an alternative way of saying that they're living below the poverty guidelines. Contrary to what some may believe, poverty is not a lifestyle choice. That's not something that we celebrate on social media, right? But we know that due to a number of unforeseen or circumstances, that it's a cycle that individuals are unable to escape. It's generational. This group of people, also sometimes referred to as, this group of people, sometimes referred to as the at-risk population, experience inconsistent and inadequate housing, inadequate childcare, inadequate health care, as well as attend under-resourced or underserved schools. Poverty is trauma, and the implications of trauma don't dissipate as we grow into adulthood. In Kansas City alone, there's over 29,000 households that are identified as being underserved. Of those, 38% have children that are under the age of 18. And that's just that only includes 6 area codes. Also in Kansas City, there's over 13,000 registered nonprofit organizations. Of those, 80 identify as being youth-led organizations. But then there's us, Advantageous Afford. Advantageous Afford is a 501c3 organization that was established in 2020 during the global pandemic. In August 22, we were able to begin taking referrals while concurrently beginning our participation in the eScholars program. Most recently, we've been able to celebrate partnering with other organizations in our community, such as Hy-Vee. So looking at those youth-led organizations, if you know anything about the organizations that are on the screen, you know that they provide an umbrella of programs. But Advantageous Afford is the only organization that focuses solely on the social emotional wellness of children. So what that looks like, or what our solution is, as we talked about, that 38% of children that are living within those underserved communities, there are also a number of organizations already out there that are providing the programs. So we provide the connection or fill the gap. So for example, a parent spends on average $180 just for their child to participate in one extracurricular activity. Think about those that have multiple children. And if you're merely just surviving, you lack the funds to invest in those social emotional opportunities. So how we do that is that we partner with what we would identify as child advocates. So teachers, social workers, clinicians, counselors, or any individuals that are already working with students that are able to easily identify the need. Once the need is identified, they're able to come to our website to make the referral, and then we have the opportunity to step in and fill that gap. Our ability to provide this resource to the community is going to be funded through donations, fundraising, as well as grant opportunities. And so as we look forward to growing our business and growing within the community, if you feel like, there's an opportunity, if this story was compelling to you, if you may identify as one of those individuals that came from one of those communities, then we ask that you connect with us to have a conversation to discuss how we can partner together to bridge those opportunities and fill the gap for social and emotional well-being.
Thank you. Okay, let's give them another round of applause. It's not easy to present or to prepare something to this level, so we're so proud of them. Voting is open for just a minute now, so go ahead and scan the QR code. If you're having issues with a QR code, please raise your hand and someone will be by to help you with it right away. And I should go ahead and open the poll. And just while you guys are doing this, I wanted to remind everyone at the bottom of about the businesses there today, there's also a QR code to apply to be a part of the spring or fall class. So if any of this today inspired you to be a part of it, we'd love to see your applications and talk to you about your idea. About 50 votes. The other thing I wanted to make sure everyone is aware of is we have our first Wednesday event. The next first Wednesday event will be in February. And do we know who the speaker is going to be, Ben? I think it's Venture for America. Yeah. Yeah, Andy, okay. Okay, we'll give everyone just one more second. I'm up to 100 votes. I'm going to need a couple more votes, though, because some of this is really, really close. Look at this. I can see everything. How slick is that? That is slick. I know. It is close. But I see this one is coming across on top. We'll give you guys about 30 seconds. We're at about 200 votes, so I'm thinking we're really close to having everyone's in. Isn't that cool? I'm going to kind of wait for it to hit 200. That is Mascana. What's her business name? The Bloch business. One second, let me grab this. Ooh. Okay, guys. We're ready to make our announcement. So in third place with a price of $250 to get started on their business, we've got, give me a second here, voting is closed. Aziza! Our silk business. Congratulations, Aziza. Okay, our second place prize winner for $500 is Alicia. Congratulations. Okay, and finally, our first place winner today is Nathan and Mascana, our Botox business. Congratulations. That is so fun, and I had no idea the voting was going to work that well. So good job, guys. Congratulations, everyone. You guys did so awesome. It was such a pleasure to, be a part of this year. And thank you to everyone for joining us today. Have a great night. There's still pizza if anyone wants pizza.